From the new recording lair located deep beneath the Wine and Spirit store in Ephrata, Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the Masonic Light Podcast.
Studio 665 presents Masonic Light Podcast. This show is recorded by Masons, for Masons, and is for entertainment purposes only. And please, no wagering.
This podcast is not endorsed by any Grand Lodge, and the ridiculous ramblings of the hosts are their own. And now, here's your host.
Hey, everybody!
Admit it, you can't hear that music without kind of jogging your shoulders and moving your hands a little
Absolutely.
bit. It's just, you expect Shaft to come busting through the door. Yeah. I love that.
It's the Masonic Light Podcast, episode 153.
153.
100. Can you believe
Larry, that's a lot of episodes.
No.
That's a lot. Well, we are joined in the studio tonight by Holden Green. We're going to get to know him throughout the show tonight. But Holden, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Nice to see everyone here.
Good to have you on. Tonight's episode is sponsored by our show sponsors, George J. Grove & Son, Hiram Solomon Cigars, Scott J. Helm Electric, and Intermezzo by Stephanie. Ooh. In fact, just before we began tonight, I placed an order with
Yes, you did.
Intermezzo by Stephanie.
And you have already received a reply from her.
I got a text message from Intermezzo by Stephanie saying my order was on the way.
She is on the ball.
And I'm looking at 2 Easter baskets filled with what you delivered to me.
You know what's not in that?
By the way, you charged me for that delivery. You know
shut
that?
up. You know,
he delivered it to you.
I delivered it to you. You know what's not in that bag?
Slow burn.
No, well, that, but chocolate peanut butter eggs.
Oh.
Because it's Easter time.
Right.
And every church does a fundraiser selling chocolate Easter eggs, right? Peanut butter Easter eggs.
Yep.
So Stephanie said, let him have it. It's
not
okay.
Fighting that fight.
I'm not going to fight that fight and compete against, the Columbia, church, Easter egg thing. So that's one thing you'll never find in there.
See, I would have bought chocolate peanut butter eggs from her.
And chocolate covered
not
fruit,
anybody else.
Like the strawberry, at Valentine's Day, everybody wants chocolate strawberries.
Yeah.
You can't keep them fresh unless you douse them in so much toxic chemistry.
Formaldehyde.
Well, I don't know what's on it. I'm not saying that. You said that, Larry. But whatever's on it, it affects the taste for sure. She's like, nah, that's okay. There's local people that dip chocolate.
Makes the body look good, though.
But anyway, well, thank you guys for your patronage. And those of you in Masonic land, she's got a lot of, she's got little Lego Masons that she'll do up in chocolate for you. She does all kinds of good stuff.
I just ate one the other night.
Jump up there. A Lego man?
Yeah, it was celebrating my 49th year. We give candy out in the lodge
nice.
to everybody that celebrates their anniversary. And we had the little Lego Masonic man.
Aww.
His head fell off. I ate it. And I ate part of his shoulder.
It happens sometimes.
Because it's Wilbur chocolate.
Yes.
And that's the finest.
Shh, Larry, that's the secret.
Don't be telling the shop secrets. You give him a tour and he reveals all the secrets. I'm telling you.
Now I have to cut out your tongue, Larry.
So, since we don't have an actual ad yet cut for Intermezzo by Stephanie for our show,
we did.
Where can they? We did at one point. Yeah. Where can our listeners find this fine chocolate?
Well, she's in a couple of stores around the area.
But if you're in California or
if you're listening from one of Larry's many planets that we're on, you can go on the interwebs to www.intermezzo. That's with 2 Z's. By Stephanie, Stephanie.
And I actually found that if you get to the Intermezzo by in the
it'll
Google
probably
search,
come up.
Stephanie pops up.
Yep, she's got her SEO pretty well knocked out.
Pretty darn good.
And we've shipped to Japan. We've shipped all over the country. We've shipped to Canada. So
it's that Wilbur chocolate.
But
she's gonna owe us chocolates for this kind of play. Well, Holden, normally what we do is we begin by going around the table and talking about what we've been doing Masonically over the last several weeks. And so, Larry,
That'll be the shortest.
what have you been doing since breakfast?
Really will, because I haven't even been at
Get
breakfast.
into the microphone.
Haven't been at breakfast for the past couple weeks because my poor wife had a knee replacement and is doing well with that, but her back went out and she has some major back problems. So I haven't been really doing a lot. I think the only thing I really did was our lodge meeting since the show. Yeah. That was it, the lodge meeting, that's all.
Okay.
There you go.
Jack.
I continued with my it's called mentoring, but it's really Masonic education for the new candidates. It's a little bit of mentoring. I think everybody enjoys getting together, including me. I do that every Monday night as I can, and the guys are learning the oath and obligation. We'll talk a little bit about what you had to go through, but you had I think what they're doing at your lodge is aligns nice with what we do here. But the big thing for me was on Saturday I went to 1 North Broad Street.
Yes, you did.
To the Academy of Masonic Knowledge, and I listened to a couple of speakers that were really thought-provoking, both intelligent, both well presented. It was Chuck Dunning was one of them. Contemplative Masonry is his. I think it's his latest book, but there may be a new one about to come. I don't know. But Chuck was very, he's very like the mindfulness of Masonry. So it was interesting to hear sort of that perspective on it. And then the other fellow, is it Bob Nathan? Do you remember?
Shoot.
I have his card at home, and I've actually corresponded with him, but I can't.
The other guy.
But anyway, listen to it on YouTube, and you can find out his name. But he was great. I'm trying to get him on the show, but I guess if I can't remember his name, it probably
be hard to find.
Probably won't look good when he listens to this episode. So, but anyway, he was more about the physical and the spiritual, and how they reflect in Freemasonry and in the ritual work and that kind of stuff. So it's a good conversation at the end. It was reasonably well attended. I think it's for people that are used to going to Elizabethtown to an event like that. It's wide open parking. It's giant bright blue sky. It's green grass, and you walk into this magnificent cruise ship in a cornfield, and that's a particular experience. When you park in Philadelphia, like downtown, it's a different feel. The building is unimaginable. There can only be a few that even come close in the world, but it was cool. It's the first event I've ever gone to there that I just came as a witness. I conferred a third degree once in the Egyptian room, and I think if you can probably find that on an old episode somewhere, but. It's just splendid. There's no, I don't know, splendid. Magnificent doesn't work, but splendid is it. It's cool.
Very good. So Holden Green.
Yes.
I don't want to get into Larry's 6 questions, but why don't we tell the listeners just a little bit about you in terms of, start with what lodge are you a member of?
So I'm a member of Millersville Lodge 476, and besides that, I'm a Demolay, and I put a petition into Amaranth and Eastern Star so far.
Oh, my gosh.
They already got me.
So
It was my
before you
parents.
leave tonight, we need to give you the real secret Masonic word. Actually, given their family, it won't work.
No, it won't
So
carry over.
it won't carry over. But seriously, we're really glad to have you here tonight. Have you been doing something other than trying to learn your oath and obligation over the last couple of months?
I haven't memorized any dialogue besides proficiency for my degrees.
He does show up at meetings.
He does.
He was at the
Absolutely.
stated
Oh, I know.
meeting.
I was there the
He was
last
at the
stated
state-
meeting.
I don't
Was it
think, and
stated
stated and extra, I don't think I've missed anything
You were
yet.
there.
That's great.
You were with me.
Yeah, that's right. I was sitting right next to you.
Oh my God, it's amazing. So is Josh.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh,
All right, Josh, how
unbelievable.
about you?
Joshy McJosherson.
I actually managed to attend lodge meeting for Millersville Lodge number 476.
Man, Lamberville.
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 You guys did it wrong.
What?
It's Lamberville.
Millerton.
Millerton.
Sounds like a British
Doesn't
docuseries.
it? It does.
Yeah, I did that and mixed the last episode, of course.
Yeah,
But,
you did a great job on that.
Which,
oh, and I finally got my chapter dues paid.
Amazing.
Do you qualify
Very
for other
good.
stuff now?
I did make several attempts, and I did actually send it, but
Okay. Well, we can take him off of the list, so we
I
don't have to keep
personally
calling
dropped it
him.
off.
So what else? What was it? Oh, it was that other. Yeah. Got
Yeah.
it.
So we'll do that before we take our break.
Cool.
So what have I been involved with?
What?
Harrisburg Lodge of Perfection meeting.
He's got notes.
I always have notes.
They're not digital, though.
First District training in Mount Joy for secretaries and treasurers and worshipful masters. I got to tell you all a funny Moyer story later. Can't do it on the show.
No. Moyer stories are the best.
On the 13th, Samuel C. Perkins conferred the Mark Master degree, which was amazing. And good buddy over in Carlisle, Dan Confer, conferred it. He had seen the degree one time a year ago when he got it. And he did the master's role.
Holy moly!
Yeah, buddy. He did an amazing job. I told him afterwards, I said, you know what this means, don't you? He goes, what? I said,
You're
doing
dead.
this till you die.
You're
buddy.
dead.
You're doing this till you die.
Holden, just for reference, that degree in York-Rite is probably
2 hours long.
2.5 Master Mason degrees. Yeah. It's because it really is 3 different degrees.
Yeah.
And it's a real experience.
Let's see here. Lodger Research Audit actually worked with our brother Seth Anthony and Alan Moyer on doing that. We had a great location picked
you
out
worked
for
with
that.
Alan Moyer.
Alan Moyer, the other Moyer. Yeah, buddy.
He's a hoot.
I did watch the Academy of Masonic Knowledge on the interwebs Saturday, which was really good because you can bring your own beverages to that.
What? Who says
Always-
I didn't?
Always makes the
I didn't.
coffee
I really
taste
didn't.
better.
I didn't.
And then Monday night, I was installed as District Illustrious Master in Harrisburg Council Number 7.
What?
Nice.
Aw.
So that's been my trip around the Masonic world the last couple of weeks.
Awesome.
One thing we didn't mention, and I know Jack wanted to go there, was that we were all honored to participate in something that wasn't necessarily Masonic, but we were invited to join Stephanie's family memorial for Pete. And
that's what this meant to him.
Yes.
We were family, and
yeah,
and I'm just beyond honored.
do it. Go.
No, it was just beautiful. It was concise, but not short, not brief. You know, it was to the point. A couple people, gave some thoughts, and there was some music from Steph's musical group, and La La Luna. If you
That
want
last piece.
book your concert now.
That last piece they sang
Was really haunting, wasn't it?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was very interesting piece.
Yes.
I'd never heard that before. It was very nice. Yeah, and then we went over and hung out at Lambertville Lodge, and had a fellowship meal, and some other people got up and spoke, and it was very nice. And I guess in the last few months, I've come to understand how much this meant to him.
Yeah.
More than I ever thought it did. I thought this was just one of the things that he does that's funny, that makes people laugh, that he just, does a good thing and keeps it going. But we at the podcast decided that the work that Pete has done, it should be turned around to recognize other people who are doing good in their communities. And we haven't altogether nailed down the criteria, but we are going to produce a medallion, maybe a 3-inch, kind of bronze medallion, in Pete's memory. That on the front is a horse, because he raised money for the Lancaster Mounted Police Unit with the Santa Stumble, a Doberman Pinscher, because he fostered Doberman Pinschers.
That used to love to bite Jack.
That used to bite me. And right in the center, there is a monkey with a fuzz. And that was all the other stuff that Pete did, all the fun nonsense stuff that he did. But the motto on the front is what we decided Pete was, and I think I said this last week, have fun, do good. And so that came out of that meeting. So.
Absolutely. And you'll hear more about that going forward as we proceed. But that was truly a touching day. Larry, tell us about what was on the upper level of the lodge building. He's not going to remember this.
Oh, the museum. Oh, my, yeah. Need some tea. Yeah, after the funeral service, we went to the lodge, and in the lobby of our lodge, Stephanie had set out different mementos, different things that Pete collected over the years, like his favorite T-shirts, his favorite Masonic memorabilia. I mean, there's so many different things that he was involved in, and it was literally like going into a museum, and everything you looked at, you could place him with. I mean, it was amazing. It was really great, and that was before we had our sit-down family kind of dinner. But yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Really was. You know what my favorite item was, other than his Masonic Light Podcast microphone and badge?
What?
The Pink Floyd T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
And so those of you, it was
Did
literally.
he create that the first time?
I'm not sure.
I don't.
I need to
that
ask
can't be
Stephanie.
true.
But
That would
it
be
is a
millions
picture
of hits.
of Floyd the Barber in Andy Griffith in pink. And so that be Pink Floyd.
I've seen that so many
It
times.
was hilarious. So we're going to, before Larry starts talking to the people in the hallway.
We have a whole.
We're being haunted. Wait a minute. Like, keep going. You got to keep
come
running.
on.
All right, we're going to keep going.
Oh, we have an audience here.
We're being invaded by.
Hey, hey, speak up. Give us applause. Yeah. Hey, welcome, guys.
So we have a room full now. Why don't you each step up to the microphone and tell us just who you are?
Hi, my name is Matt Engel, past master here of Effort Lodge 665.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm Ryan Moran. I'm the junior deacon currently.
You had to think about that for a minute?
Jay Lammy, Junior Master of Ceremonies.
Sean DeRose, Pursuant, and Senior Master of Ceremonies.
Ron Crosby, fill-in Senior Master of Ceremonies.
All right. They literally just came downstairs from a rehearsal where they're practicing for the conferral of a Master Mason's degree.
So how is it that Ephrata does such good work on their degree nights?
Practice.
Could it be?
Practice.
There it is.
Practice makes perfect.
There it is. All right.
Try to anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back and talk more to our guest Holden Green and maybe some of our other guests that are joining us. We'll be right back.
Why choose George J. Grove & Sons for your next home improvement project? At George J. Grove & Sons, we've built our reputation on quality and trust for more than 50 years. From planning to materials to installation, George J. Grove promises a home improvement experience second to none. Whether your goal is reducing energy costs, decreasing maintenance, updating curb appeal, or simply increasing the value of your home, the George J. Grove team will recommend and provide solutions that stand the test of time. Call 717-393-0859 for an estimate or visit us at georgejgrove.com. Welcome back. And our guest this evening is Holden Green.
Hello, Holden.
Holden Green. And the thing about it is, Holden has been listening to our show, I think, since the first one we ever did.
Since in utero.
And his grandfather told me one day that our biggest fan is Holden. And he would I guess his grandfather bought him shirts with Masonic Light Podcast. And I see this kid who's 12 years old going around with these shirts on Masonic Light Podcast.
Yep.
He listened to the first. He was actually, we invited his mother, Jonna Hoover Green.
So let's take a moment before, like, are you building to the big reveal?
I'm building.
Okay, you're building to the reveal.
Building.
Okay, I got it.
Are we going to see this in the next 5 minutes?
Actually on episode 11 of our show.
Yes.
When he was 12 years old. Wow. He's been listening to the show ever since. He's probably one of our historians. We don't know yet. We haven't quizzed him. And he's a guest on our show tonight. And basically, he's a guest because we want him to tell us his story from Demolay to Master Mason. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Can I hold on? Because you didn't even go where you needed to go. He has the most Masonic pedigree I've ever met of anybody. Right?
Tonight's show is about Holden, not the pedigree.
No, it is about the pedigree because I think it helps to make Holden who he is. I think. So tell us about your pedigree.
So I knew that my parents and all my family were involved in this thing called the Masonic groups. That's all I knew it as. And so we're going to do a meal. I would always help my grandma. Maybe I wouldn't help early on before I was 10.
Before
I was
it was
just
legal,
sort of babysitting, but I was always there in the Masonic Center in Lancaster with my grandma Sandy. And so I've been around, and I'm glad to finally be hands deep into all this.
So the long answer is his grandmother Sandy is the Sandy Hoover that makes the chicken pot pie that Larry drools on the table when it's mentioned.
Absolutely the best.
So that's the Sandy Hoover that's grandma.
And Grandpa
is our Scott Hoover, who has been a friend of everyone and especially the show since the beginning. So.
Well,
and a regular contributor.
Yes.
And not only that, Scott's father, Chief of Police, Lancaster City Police Department, was a Master Mason in our lodge as well.
Yeah.
And I think Worshipful Master at one time.
Let him tell
So
that.
the lineage keeps going back and back.
Who else do you know about in the family, Holden? Is it?
So on my mom's side, too, my great-grandfather was a Master Mason, and I believe he was a Worshipful Master. Not all of his kids, he had 4 boys. Not all of them were Masons. Only 1 or 2 at most, I believe. But he was very into it. His name was Mitch Huber, and he loved it. He loved Masons.
Talk about your uncles.
Yep, and all my immediate uncles, they're all Masons, and not all of them still attend Blue Lodge, but the ones that do, like Jason Hoover, he is a good mentor for me, and I ask him questions whenever I see him.
And past master of Lamberton Lodge.
Yep, he was a past master, and I was at his...
now Millersville.
Yeah, I was at his installation before I was even a Demolay, and so that was fun.
Cool. So is that what drew you first into Demolay?
And how about your dad?
What?
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, how about his dad?
Yeah, my actual father, he isn't involved in Blue Lodge too much, but he's very supportive of his wife and my mom in Amaranth and Eastern Star.
Oh, wait a minute. Actual father. Is there...
Well, the clarification was maybe
your dad.
Maybe someone who thinks R. Scott is my dad was listening.
Oh, okay, yeah. And
that is true.
And people do that, yeah.
There is an imprint. Plus, you worked for him. So.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I understand how it gets confusing, and I'm used to it. So whenever someone says it, I don't even tell them that they were wrong.
Well, we'll just call him Grandpa.
Grandpa. Yeah.
So, all right, now my question. So, I assume that it
Larry,
was...
did you get to number 2?
It was all that affiliation that got you interested in the Demolay.
So, I never knew about Demolay before I was 12 years old, or about around that age. My mom, I was homeschooled, did computer school actually. And when my mom said you could join this group where you'd meet a bunch of other kids your age, I was right into it. So I'd never heard about it until she said, there's a youth group you could join called Demolay. And I was instantly ready for it.
Cool beats.
I knew it was connected to the Masons, and that was even more cool.
So
back to you, Larry.
Masonic families out there with children, that's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
Ask your second question, Larry.
No, that was the second question, which is okay. You were following the What did Demolay teach you?
Demolay has taught me a lot. between social skills and also public speaking. I remember a time when I attended Keyman University, which is a week-long event, stay away, where the kids are all around the nation come to Elizabethtown, actually. We had some people from Canada my first time, and most of the times there are people that come from up north. And I remember I was in a group. Everyone gets split up into different groups, and the older kids are learning stuff like ritual proficiency and how to plan events and stuff like that. But since I was a brand new member, I was in the group called, I forget what it was called, but it was basically the basics of Demolay. And at the end of it, at the 7th day of the stay-away camp, I was told I had to prepare this speech. And so the day before, I wrote it out and presented it to my little group. But then once I got up in front of the 100-something people that were listening to me at the main event, I was shaking so much I could barely read my paper. And so coming from there to now, it's been a good journey, and Demolay has definitely been the reason that I'm able to memorize stuff and present it in front of the Demolay chapter and just public speaking in general in life.
Do you think it gave you the tools to become a Master Mason?
So, yes, I do believe that it's a natural step from Demolay to Masons. It's not required. I think you get a lot of help from your brethren when you first join a lodge if you were never a Demolay. But Demolay, you're into it, you know what the basics are, and it makes it much more comfortable, certainly.
When did you know you were going to petition to become a Master Mason?
So I would say when I joined Demolay, I did not want to be a Mason.
Okay.
I was like, okay, this is fun, but I probably won't do it forever.
Okay.
And then around the time I became Master Counselor, which is the Worshipful Master equivalent in Demolay, then I started to get more serious about it. And I was 14, so I was sort of thrown to the flames because they needed a Master Counselor. And then from then on, I was like, all right, let's join the Blue Lodge.
So it actually, your answers to this actually lead me to the question, because, as you said, not all Demolays will join a lodge, and for a whole lot of reasons, but it's actually very few. What do you think, now that you're a Master Mason, and you've been to some Blue Lodge meetings, and you've been involved a little bit in the fraternity, from your perspective, what can we as Master Masons do to encourage more of those folks coming out of Demolay to consider Freemasonry?
So I could say something like just go out and support them by attending their stated meetings, but even that's not enough.
Yeah.
You really have to make a presence and do something impactful that affects them or their chapter in a positive way that makes them see the Masons as something that they want to be a part of and keep spreading the love that you learn in Demolay, and eventually even more love is spread in the Blue Lodge.
Was there any point during that experience where someone, even one of your fellow Demolay folks, talked about, okay, in X number of years, I'm going to be eligible to join a Blue Lodge?
No.
See, I think that's one thing we need to do, is do more of a direct connection to those two, because, again, I think...
And sort of like present it to them and be like, this is a thing that you could join and you probably would benefit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think that would be helpful?
That would be very helpful, because they understand that Demolay is helping them, certainly, and not joining the Blue Lodge is just a huge disservice, and that they just don't see that. Right. They don't know that.
Is it presented to them? Is it part of the curriculum?
No, not really.
Okay, well,
that's a good idea. Good idea.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that's involved in that can?
I know a lodge that's like right next door to a Masonic fraternity.
What?
On a college campus.
Lamberville.
Anyway, all right, we're not going to solve the world's problems. We're just creating more.
But my question is, talking about what Tim was saying, how much of a family influenced you to make this decision?
The decision for Demolay, it was my decision.
Your decision.
But for Lodge, that was my decision. Good. My parents are very nice that they don't over push me or influence me to do something that they want me to do.
How about your grandfather?
John.
Now, yeah.
That's the
yeah, you're right. You got that.
I know. I got that.
Yeah.
Besides my grandpa, my parents, they'll present something to me and make it my decision. Good. And I appreciate that because then I feel more connected to it.
And knowing your grandparents, knowing your mother, I totally agree. That's the way they do things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that how they trained you, Larry?
Ask your third question, Larry.
They didn't train me.
I made Larry write his questions.
I've been around long
tonight.
enough. I trained them.
Easy, big fella.
All right. I think we need to take a break.
Really?
And we'll come on back.
I think we all know what that means, so we'll be right back after Larry returns from the men's
With a
room.
catheter.
As far back as the mid-1800s, records exist describing the pre-meeting tradition of brethren smoking cigars during and after gatherings. To this day, the practice of smoking cigars remains very much alive in many lodges. This custom is considered a time for brethren to relax, exchange ideas, and enjoy the simplicity and fellowship that is the very essence of our brotherhood. This is what Hiram Solomon Cigars is all about. Our starting principles are to bring Masonic brethren together in the harmony of a good cigar. Pull up a chair, sit back, light up any of our premium cigars, and enjoy the history. Hiram Solomon Cigars can be found at fine cigar retailers. For a complete list, visit HiramSolomonCigars.com or check them out on social media to find out when they'll be at a live event near you. Hiram Solomon Cigars is pleased to be the official cigar of the Masonic Light Podcast.
Larry's counting us in.
He's pointing at you.
He's counting down from 5 with his fingers, and there's so much arthritis, he can't tell what he's
He
doing.
points to Holden.
Oh, Jesus. That's not even a number.
It
What
looks
is
like
that?
a root vegetable.
Oh my God. It's a parsnip.
Typing on the phone is horrible.
Oh, tell me about it. Oh. All right, so we're back. I'm so sorry.
Oh, gosh.
We're back with our guest. Holden Green. Holden, so you were saying something intelligent just before the break, and then Larry said, no, we got to go for a break. So you feel as though it was, for you, it was just a natural movement from Demolay into Freemasonry.
Yes.
And we were talking about why that doesn't always happen, or it doesn't happen for some kids. It happens for some, but not others. And I think you said not many.
Yeah, very little, very few.
Fascinating. And so that points out something really important that we're not going to talk about tonight.
But it's a deficiency among ourselves.
But there's definitely a gap somewhere. There's right. I mean, it's either in Demolay or it's in Freemasonry. It's one or the other. But
Larry, turn your phone off.
Are you kidding me?
It's not me. One of the things we began to address, talking about what you're talking about, John.
Put the parsnips down.
And you're talking about this. And
Tell me, cornbread, what's happening?
We were at they were at the Demolay Keyman last year.
Yep.
We were on the stage. We did a presentation, and it was fantastic. We've
Yes.
been invited back to do it again.
Awesome.
And that is a way, I think, to convey,
Our interest in them.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I think
Thank
we're
you.
going to be intentional about
I couldn't
that
get that
ask.
thought out. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah. That was a long way around the elbow there, Larry.
By the way, welcome James into the studio. By the way, it's good to have you here.
All right.
Yes.
That's James Diener,
Yes.
our officer of various positions
Yes.
in Lodge. What are you, junior deacon now, right?
I have
No, senior deacon.
I have a hard time recognizing James without a dress on.
Well, he looks
It's pretty good in a dress. I mean,
he looks like a young, handsome Albert Pike, is what
yes,
he
he
looks
does.
like. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
This thing has gone off the rails, Josh.
Still
All right.
looks good.
So, anyway, I think we still have a guest, Holden, who I was asking
yes,
a question of.
yeah, you were-
and you interrupted me, and now I can't remember what the hell I was going to ask.
I don't remember either. I had some questions, though.
Go. You got questions.
Okay.
You got to talk into the mic, though.
You're a young man.
Yes.
Okay. What does your future look like in life and this fraternity? So, broad spectrum.
Well, fortunately, I just got a job at a big painting company called Two Dudes.
Yeah, two dudes
painting.
Today was my second day in a house painting with them.
In so competition is it 3 dudes with Grandpa.
Now? Yep.
Is it 3 dudes now?
No, it's like 74 dudes. They're a big company now. So, and I believe that I will be pursuing a career as a painter. I was pretty undecided, like even a week ago, if this is really what I want to do forever. But so far, so good with Two Dudes. So that's where I see my life going.
Nice. Do you have aspirations? You want to franchise your own? Or?
Yeah, that was the main thing I went into it thinking. I applied as a painter's apprentice, despite I could probably have applied as an experienced painter. I've been doing my own jobs now for at least 2 years, like in correlation with my grandpa, and my own jobs that I get worked out together. We're separate completely from him. So that was awesome. And I wanted to learn more and become very professional in my painting.
Okay, so does that give you an opportunity then to learn like the business side of it, where you're keeping accounts and understanding taxes and all that kind of nonsense?
So thankfully, I did enroll into Hack, and I already took some classes on some very basic business protocol and things like that.
Oh, fantastic!
Good for you.
Yep. So that was fun, and
That's
that ended.
Harrisburg Area Community College for those of you out of territory or,
big school
on a different planet.
So I understand you have some other big plans coming up.
Oh my God!
Other big plans in the fraternity?
No, in
your
the
life.
future.
Oh yeah, we're still talking about my life.
Yeah.
The next step for me will be getting married. Right now, I'm engaged to my fiance, Kimberly Myers. I call her Kimmy. She's very wonderful. We've been dating for 4 years now. This month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great.
So that's coming.
And he's only 19. Remember that. But you're not getting married right away.
No, May 2025. Save the date.
There you go.
Oh, okay. You'll be
Good long
Save the
engagement.
date.
21. You'll be
engagement.
21.
Yep.
Good long engagement.
So he can
And that's
drink at
on
his
purpose.
wedding.
No,
Larry.
I'm
Come on.
really
You got it.
impressed.
Yeah, you got
I'm
it,
really
Jack.
impressed.
That's why.
I'm really
I'm with you.
That's
on
why.
that.
You really think
100%.
you really think he's going to drink at his wedding?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
100%.
I don't know if he will, but I know his mom and dad will.
Shh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Her father
not
listens
his grandma.
to this.
Not his
No, not her
not his
grandmother and grandpa. No, they won't. No.
Okay.
No.
So Larry asked you a 2-part question. What about your future in the fraternity?
So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm already going to join 2 appendant bodies. And I want to hold off on joining stuff like the Tall Cedars and other things for at least like a year, because I want to get the feel of the Blue Lodge and really get involved and maybe get my master builder and stuff like that.
You're getting an applause from Josh.
I recognize
that's
it.
one applause.
By the way, in order to be a tall cedar, you have to be 65 at least.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So something else I would hope you would consider as a young Mason along your journey, give some consideration while your mind is still young and fresh and like a sponge taking everything in. Consider going through those chairs.
Yes.
Because all lodges, I'm not speaking about any lodge in particular, all lodges need young guys in those chairs. So I would encourage you to consider that as part of your future path as well.
What do you as a 19-year-old, and I have to say you're the youngest. No, my son was 18 when he came in. But what do you seek in this? Why are you here?
In
Freemasonry.
In Freemasonry at
Podcast
large.
because we made you.
Yes. I want to get involved more because I know it comes down to the impact on the community. I love the charitable aspect of all the different groups, and that's my biggest influence, to be active and involved, pretty much. Yeah.
Good stuff, and they do, and that's where it happens in the appendant bodies.
Yeah.
So that's the good part of it. Yeah. And you mentioned Keyman. We're big supporters of Keyman here at Ephrata. Both of my kids went once, I think, and it's a riot. I think it should be required of every kid in Demolay.
Yeah.
It's a really wonderful experience, and when you start seeing advertisements for that, if you have a kid in Demolay, that's
it's very well worthwhile.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, as an old guy going to Keyman for just those couple of hours that we were there as a podcast last year, it was amazing. And it was really our it was recorded, but we recorded it in front of a live studio audience.
Yes.
And
We've never had
we've never done that.
What, 70, 80, 90 people there. I mean,
It
that was
was
amazing.
incredible. We loved it, and from all I understand, the guys loved it. And, we definitely will be back, and we will be more intentional
And
with
we
our
have,
asks
we
as
have
well.
definitely been invited. But I think one of the things that impressed me most about Keyman was a 12-year-old young guy from Harrisburg. First time being at Keyman. And we asked him some questions, and I was amazed at his response.
Yeah.
And he was new to Demolay. And this kid was amazing. I thought, whoa, unbelievable. But he exemplified everybody that was there.
Yes.
It was amazing. It was super. I'm overusing the word amazing too much. Yeah.
You know, we did a word count on the first 15 episodes.
Awesome.
And Larry, the top 3, we should have a contest.
Oh, jeez.
A Larry jar.
A Larry jar. Every time he says the word amazing, fantastic, what was the other one?
It's got to be 3.
There's got to be 3. There was a third. I told you what they were the other day.
Yeah, no, I remember.
But yeah.
Cornbread.
And you could also count the number of times Pete told him to quit tapping on the table and talking to his mic. So.
29, 30, 40, 50 shows. Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how do you think Freemasonry can help you?
By making me a better man.
Blah, 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 blah. What does that mean?
Well, the one thing that stuck out to me during the progress of my degrees is actually studying and enriching yourself through the 7 liberal arts. And
I paid attention.
What?
Nice.
Keep talking.
And I haven't really divulged much of my time to that yet, but I know I will because it was part of my degrees. I have to. Yeah, that's what they said.
Nice. You are encouraged
Yeah.
to study.
Yes. He actually listened to those words in his degree.
Well, he listens to the show. He knows. So, I mean,
That's great.
let me ask you a question, Holden.
No, I'm sorry.
If you had a message to give to young boys about Demolay, what would it be?
First off, it would be to get involved. The more you put into it, the more you get out, and that's true for all the Masonic bodies. But I feel it's more specific to Demolay because that's such a crucial time of your life where you're learning very foundational stuff that will make you so much more successful than you could ever believe as a 12-year-old if you're listening right now.
That's
great. I mean, I've heard that phrase so many times that it makes my skin crawl when I hear somebody about to say it because I know it's coming. That you get out of it what you. But it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It really is
It's
true.
so true.
If you don't put anything into it, it's you miss the opportunity to be a part of it.
I actually heard someone high up say, you actually get out more than you put into it.
I think you do.
But if you put nothing into it, you don't expect to get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the real truth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to say, before we close, this afternoon around 3 o'clock, I get a text from Tim. He said, do you have questions lined up?
I made him write these down.
No. I said, of course, maybe, possibly. I'll leave it at that. And Jack says, oh, Lord. And Tim does a hand to face. But I did have 6 questions
Larry,
lined up.
I want you to know,
And I said,
I'm very impressed that you came in here prepared.
We could promote him to Cub Reporter.
Cub Reporter, that's right. Cornbread Merris.
so I answered,
Wow.
I have 6 questions, and I'll review them at dinner with Holden and you, bozos.
Did we do that?
So, yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. So Jack sends me a picture of Bozo the Clown. So, I mean, come on.
Actually, I sent you a picture of some rogue clown.
Yeah, it was a
somewhere
road
else.
clown. I sent you original.
And you, of course,
Bozo.
went to the Wikipedia page
Yeah.
because that's research.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I did. But anyway, summing up.
Well, that was a quick summary.
Okay, and thank you for coming.
Well, anyway, you've been a good guest. You really have been.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to tell this little story.
Uh-oh.
When you became a state
Yes. Regional State Master
Officer.
Counselor.
You and I did an interview in the hallway at Masonic Village. Remember that?
Yes.
I recorded it. And I played it. And we listened to it. And we said, we can't use this. Because your answers were mechanically by the book.
Yep, I remember.
Remember that?
Yes.
And I just felt so bad about it. So one of the things the guy said, it's not going to be like that interview, is it? I said, no. I said, he's completely different now, and you have been a great guest.
Thank you.
You've opened up. It's been great having you on. I know we're going to have you back on again, so be prepared to come back in your journey.
And I want to say about that. I think it's the Blue Lodge that really gave me this talkative setting that I could convey my emotions.
Yeah, I'm glad
so articulately.
So talk about that.
Because even
right?
Yeah,
maybe,
come on, I want to hear more about.
Maybe 6 months ago, I probably still would have been reserved and just spitting out something that would move us along. But now I want to really tell you.
Well, you also had dinner with us previously tonight, and you saw what we operate like. And well, you've been listening to the show, so you know that too. Yeah. But you fit right in, and we're really, really happy.
So, is there a population of kids your age that are at that point where they would really like to kick over into adulting and just understand that skill set better?
I can't think of anyone, but I know that I would definitely be in that demographic.
Yeah.
Some of my friends I feel are definitely more mature than I am at times, but I'm getting there. And that's what. And I think the Blue Lodge helped a lot kickstart that.
But enjoy your youth.
Yeah,
absolutely. Enjoy your youth.
But here's another thing, too. He has a brother who is, sophomore in high school right now?
No, he's actually a freshman.
A freshman?
He's still a freshman. And he's kicking butt as master counselor for our chapter right now.
He's unbelievable.
Yep.
I heard his flower ceremony, and I thought, this kid is a natural.
Yeah.
And he's got acting abilities because he's on stage plays, he's in musicals.
Yep.
He is phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
You were great. You were wonderful. But I'm going to say, please don't. He's
no
really
offense.
Good.
I've definitely,
Yeah, he's really good.
He's taking initiative.
He's going to be in line. He's going to be coming in, about how many years? 18? He's what? He's only a freshman.
Oh, my God, he's doing math.
It's 5 more years. Oh, gosh.
All right.
Anyway.
All right.
I wanted to mention Kenton Green. Look for him. He's going to be around.
He's 15 now, so.
He's 15. Okay, there you go.
In August, he turns.
What?
I just wanted to know if you had any more questions.
You thinking?
I did interrupt you earlier.
You good? Nope.
Sorry.
I think we are ready to take our final break tonight, and we'll be right back to wrap up episode number 153.
Are the chickens back?
Way to go, Larry.
We're gotta bring them back into the building.
Bring it in.
Hello, brethren. Dutchie Doug is here to bring you an update from my lodge, the Brogan Pla number 377. Well, March is to an end, and I have a quick story for you all. As we all know, March brings St. Patrick's Day. I know that some lodges will celebrate that holiday with a party or maybe even a dance. Well, heck, just over the Blue Mountains from us is a good-sized Irish-American enclave. They have a lodge, and every year they throw a wonderful good St. Patrick's Day dance with a live band, lots of Guinness, and all the corned beef and cabbage you can eat. But we Pennsylvania Dutch do not celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Did you know that we have our own saint that we revere, and her day just happens to fall on March 17th as well? No lie. We celebrate and honor Saint Gertrude. Saint Gertrude was born in Nivelles, France in 625. Hi, Yama, that's a long time ago. She is celebrated as the patron saint of cats, but more importantly, she is also the patron saint of gardeners. And since we Pennsylvania Dutch have such a strong agricultural background, we tend to gravitate more to her than the guy with all the shamrocks. It is tradition among the Pennsylvania Dutch to plant your peas and onions on St. Gertrude's Day. If done, you will ensure a good harvest later on in the year. So it is fitting that our lodge also celebrate her memory. While the O'Sheas and O'Connors over the mountain were drinking their green beer, whoever heard of such nonsense, we held our annual St. Gertrude's Day dance and social. It's always such a nice event for the brethren and their significant others. After a long winter, it gives us all a chance to blow off some steam and beat that cabin fever that one often feels by mid-March. This year we invited the Apple Butter Gang family band to provide the entertainment. Now they play good old music, you know, the kind you can hold on to. Old Granny Schissel on accordion, Pappy Van Fickle on bass, Johnny Schmoger on guitar, and our own brother Bobby Geig on the fiddle. The night found a packed social hall, the band wailing away on stage, guests enjoying dandelion wine and fresh Bach beer. The ring bologna and cheese was being passed around. Everybody was in a great mood. Traditional barn dances like Swing Her Over the Haymond and Watch Out for the Coughlopper were played, and everyone danced up a storm. In honor of St. Gertrude, we all had our necklace with a plastic onion hanging from it around our necks. I guess to the outsider, our ways may seem weird or strange, much like our fraternity. But as you all know, my brethren, once you knock, have that door open to you, you learn and see why we do what we do. And this leads to an understanding of something new, and we all grow from that experience. So next March, whether you're Pennsylvania Dutch or not, come knock on the door at our St. Gertrude's Day dance. One of us will respond, and you too can learn a new dance move, eat some cured meats, and join in the fellowship. Till next time, work hard, stay plumb, and out in the lights when you leave the room. To learn more about the Pennsylvania Dutch language, culture, and history, please visit my website, padutch101.com, or my YouTube channel. Just search for PA Dutch 101.
And we're back, wrapping up tonight's episode with Holden Green. Holden, it's been great to have you here.
Thank you.
I actually was honored to be able to attend your fellowcraft degree, and
Master Mason degree.
I was not able to
That's
be.
right, you weren't
I was
there.
not able to be at that one.
Fellowcraft, yeah.
But I really, it's been exciting to follow you thus far in your Masonic journey, and look forward to our paths crossing in the future as you continue on that path. So thanks for being with us tonight. The way we normally wrap up is to go around the horn and talk about what we have coming up Masonically. So Holden, why don't you start us tonight? Do you have anything coming up in the next month or so?
Why don't you start and let me think?
Okay. Actually, I like the way he did that.
You're a regular.
That's good. I think he has potential. So I will start, since my list tends to be long. I'll skip one because it'll happen before the episode drops. Sunday, Uber Grotto will be having its convivial, which means lots of meat and a degree to be performed.
Those are separate things, by the way.
Right.
Just saying.
Right, exactly. Okay. Next Tuesday, March 28th, I will be attending the Robert Burns banquet in Harrisburg at Robert Burns Lodge in Harrisburg. On April the 1st, I will be up in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, where I'll be doing a training for secretaries and treasurers in the 15th Masonic District. And I will be, oh gosh, it's going to escape me. There's a great cigar place up there. They're not a sponsor. But anyway, the one in Clark Summit, it's amazing. I'll be there the night before. On April the 3rd, Eureka West Shore Lodge number 302 will not only be having its stated meeting, but we will be having our oyster dinner, 3rd District oyster dinner. If you hear this episode and you want to come, you better call quickly because the deadline is coming up soon. And then on April the 2nd, the night before that, is the Valley of Harrisburg rendition of the Passion Play. That'll be at 2 p.m. on Sunday, April the 2nd at the Valley of Harrisburg. There is no charge for that. If you're in the Harrisburg area, we would welcome you to come by for that. Haven't been able to do that for a few years because of COVID and other things, and they've actually redone the degree just a little bit. So that's April the 2nd in Harrisburg. And I will pause there. Larry, what do you got coming up?
Ghost and Gridiron tomorrow.
They've already missed it.
Tall Cedars the following Tuesday, and Sandy Hoover's catering our formal event. It's I don't want to mention it's Widow's Night. I guess that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jack. Oh, he's got his calendar up.
What? No, it looks like I have a 3rd degree tomorrow. So that's cool. Nobody asked me to help or anything, so.
You're going to be a past master on the sidelines?
No, I'm going to be grumpy as hell.
Uh-oh.
Grumpy. So, yeah, I have been asked by. I don't even know if I should talk about that. I probably shouldn't talk about this, but I was asked by a Grand Lodge officer to participate in a Grand Lodge thing.
Cool.
And that's kind of
more details to come.
That's kind of where I'm. Yeah, I'm not going to get an office or anything, but I'm going to do some grunt work for somebody, which is fine. I love that. I did want to just say that at this thing that we did on Saturday at the Grand Lodge, I had a moment which really made me feel really good. I told you guys at dinner. I'm walking out into the hallway from the meeting room, and coming up the stairs and around the corner is the entire Grand Line of the Grand Lodge, Pennsylvania. And I shook hands with everybody. And then after they went into the room and I went down the hall, I realized they know me. and I thought, that's a fun feeling. It's nice to know that you're known. Mm-hmm. And I, purely egotistical, I get it. It's just me being about me. But there's something cool about that, especially in Pennsylvania, because you go to other Grand Lodge. I went to North Carolina one time, and I'm talking at dinner with this guy in, a cowboy shirt and a bolo tie, and I said, "So are you a member here?" He says, "Yeah, I'm junior warden." And I was past Grand Master of the state of North Carolina. And he's just like a regular dude. He's in the line. He's going through. He's a junior warden. So, but in Pennsylvania, there's a little bit of pomp and circumstance that goes with that, and it's kind of cool to be recognized by those guys. But as far as what's coming up, not a ton. I'm just keeping doing the stuff I do.
Great. We'll keep it up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, Holden.
All right. Now that I had a chance to
now
think,
you're back. There you
go. Very close things in my near future would be I'm actually receiving my obligation into Amaranth next Thursday.
Okay.
And in between that point and the date I'm about to talk about, I'll have to join Eastern Star because I will be Grand Page at Grand Chapter for Eastern Star.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. I'll be wearing my pink vest and.
All right. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
You look like a big Canada mint.
Yep, exactly.
There's no way in the world that as a Hoover you're not going to be in some of those bodies.
Yep, you got it. That's why they're the first ones I'm joining.
Don't even fight it.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Joshy.
I think before next episode I will have Lodge meeting.
You will.
And I'll have the episode, and I think that's it.
Okay.
That's a lot.
So before we turn the chickens loose, one thing that we want to make everyone aware of is that on Sunday, May the 7th, at 4 p.m. at the Valley of Reading, will be the public memorial service for our good buddy and founder Pete Ruggieri. Mm-hmm. We would love to have lots of people there.
Yep.
If you are able to get to Reading, Pennsylvania on Sunday, May the 7th, we would welcome you. It's 4 p.m. is the start time. Stephanie has indicated that at least for a couple of hours beforehand on Sunday, she'll be around to meet and greet folks. There'll be a visitation. And then if you're in the area on Saturday, pay close attention to the Facebook page. She's hoping to have something on Saturday for folks that maybe are already in town that want to hang out and catch up. So if you can,
I'm telling everyone to bring fun
and bring some fun. Bring some fun.
Yes.
There will be a Masonic service, obviously, to kick things off, and there'll be an opportunity for folks to share memories and celebrate a great life lived by our good buddy Pete.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Larry?
I just want to bring up one thing before we close.
Sounds
we
like
mentioned one of our advertisers, Scott J. Helm Electric Company, and I just wanted to mention that Scott is one of our advertisers and a good friend of ours. And he's now head of Ubar. He's a monarch of Ubar Grotto. Yeah,
he is
very dedicated, great individual, very proactive in Scottish Rite in the Valley of Reading. But his company does residential services, emergency repair services, commercial services. I mean, the guy is a master electrician.
And we'll even say he wired this joint.
He wired this way, and we haven't burned the building
We have
down.
not burnt down yet.
Therefore, he must be pretty good.
You should see the amount of heaters we
The
can
number of
plug
heaters
into
we have to
these.
plug in for Larry. I mean,
Yeah, because we don't have heated space.
We don't have
down
any
there.
extension
No,
cords. We
no.
got outlets all
Yeah.
over the place.
And it's amazing, but he does new construction services as well. I just wanted to mention that. And Scott Helm is, you can contact Scott at, his phone number is 484-905-1938.
That is
Or
his
you-
home number, folks.
That's his phone number, yeah.
Ooh.
S.J. Helm.
So call him after 9.
That's what he has here in his advertisement.
That's on the interwebs.
Yeah,
so
it
go
is.
to his
Yeah.
interwebsite.
Yeah,
And
that's right. That's there.
Does he have a website, Larry?
He has a website. It's
what would that website be, Larry?
that website. Let's see.
It's all the way at the top. Scroll.
Come on, use those veggies.
No. Anyway.
Come on, Cornbread, get her
Come on,
done.
Cornbread.
You can get a hold of him, shelm at sjhelmelectric.com.
So he has an email address.
He has an email. Oh, here's his website.
There
There
it
we go. It's at the very bottom in small print, sjhelmelectric.com.
There you go.
Yeah, there you
Well
go.
done.
There you go. Good man.
So
Good man.
you all want to watch Larold's head explode?
Uh-oh.
Hey,
What?
Joshy, release the chickens.
Oh, okay. Here we go. They won't let me tell my joke, by the way.
No.
I told it to them before
That's a
we
hard
recorded.
no.
That's a hard no.
Special thanks to our producer and director, Josh Lamberton, who continues to make the show really great. To Jack Harley, we didn't have news tonight. Our news director. No news
Sorry.
again tonight.
I had a kidney stone. I couldn't do it.
Oh, Tim Dedman, our marketing director. To Michelle Snyder, Doug Maddenford, and Austin Schiffler, Masonic Light Podcast what?
Schifrin.
Schiffrin.
I have Schiffler.
Schiffrin.
Oh, my God. Anyway, and to our listeners who always make doing this show worthwhile, this is Larry Merris. Thanks for listening wherever you are.
This is Tim.
And Jack.
And Josh.
And Holden.
Sorry, Holden.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. So I will start, since my list tends to be long. I'll skip one because it'll happen before the episode drops. Sunday, Hoover.